Hi, Andrew from SACS, and welcome to video number 8 in our 12 video sequence on neurodivergence in the workplace. And in this particular one, we'll be talking about how can you attract people who have neurodiversity. Many employers want to do this, but they really don't know a mechanism for doing it. And we're going to explain to you a mechanism called employee value propositions. So the idea of an employee value proposition, it's the development of an employee brand or brands. And the reason we say brand or brands, this can be applied at an organisational level, which would mean that you have one brand, but it can also be applied at the level of a particular job or a particular professional background. And in fact, sophisticated organisations in this area have multiple employee value propositions targeted to particular areas. So why do you do this? Well, it's better for attracting candidates. And how do you do it? Well, there's a simple way of doing it, and I'll explain this a little bit more on a following slide. But you're really identifying the benefits of 4 things: job, team, leaders, and the organisation. So organisational psychology research suggests that employees live in 4 worlds. The worlds of their job, their team, their leader, and the organisation. Mark Griffin from Western Australia was one of the first researchers to identify these 4 characteristics. So the job is very important to me. I'm immersed in my job every day. So in an employee value proposition, what are the benefits of the job? The second is my team, my colleagues that I work with every day. Again, very important to me, very close to me. My immediate leader, what's the benefits of my immediate leader? Well, in fact, if you have a good leader, we all know that makes a massive difference to the other components, to the job and to your colleagues. And the final component is the organisation. Very often, employee value propositions put too much emphasis on the organisation, and they don't focus enough on the things that are really close to the employee, like the job, the team, and the leader. You see, for most employees, the organisation is a kind of a concept, whereas job, team, and leader are very close to, very proximal, as we would say in psychology. And what we're suggesting here is that there may be an opportunity to build an employee value proposition for neurodiverse people, or in fact, simply to demonstrate that you have a commitment to diversity generally. Now, how do you do this? Well, I think the most authentic way of doing it is to facilitate a process where it comes from the employees themselves. There are plenty of cases where employee value propositions are written by a PR firm or an advertising agency. The simplest and cheapest way of doing it, and the most truthful, is to simply draw it from the employees. So how do you do that? Well, the best way of doing it is to get together a cohort of employees, perhaps people who are neurodiverse or diverse in other ways, ask them what they love about the job, the leaders, the colleagues, the organisation, and use this to create an EVP for attracting potential candidates. Now, clearly, if you're seeking to recruit people with neurodiversity, what that may lead to is an advertising campaign where you specifically spell it out that we're interested in people with neurodiversity, or we're interested in people who have diverse perspectives in a more general sense. One of the things that we know is if you in your wording specifically mention this interest, you will overcome one of the biggest barriers that people have, and that barrier is, I don't think these people are really going to be interested in me. Now, if you've spelled it out that you are, then you may well get the opportunity to benefit from some of the benefits that we outlined about hiring people who are neurodivergent in earlier videos in this sequence. So an employee value proposition is a very powerful way of attracting candidates, but then it comes to candidate selection techniques for neurodiversity. So the next video in this sequence is all about selection techniques. We'll talk about psych testing, we'll talk about interviewing, we'll talk about reference checking, and we'll seek to help you to make your recruitment technique as effective as possible for ensuring that people who apply to you are not in some way disadvantaged by the process itself. To join us, click on the link near this video. If you find this content helpful, then like and subscribe.